Hi dear students, a warm good morning to Vidyayangar online classes. It's me Anu Kumar, your social science teacher. Today we can discuss the remaining portion of the last chapter, physical features of India. Today we can discuss the third most important physical divisions of India. This is commonly called the Great Indian Desert. Great Indian Desert. Now India, Great Indian Desert is located to the western margins of the Aravalli Hills. This is Aravalli Hills. The western parts of the Aravalli Hills, we can see the Indian Great Desert. That's the position of the one Indian deserts. We can see one hills that is called Aravalli Hills. In the western margins of the Aravalli Hills, we can see Indian Desert. And Indian deserts covering two major states now in India. The two main states now in India is called Rajasthan and Gujarat. This is Gujarat and this part is Rajasthan. So major part is covered by Rajasthan and some of the small part of the Gujarat also covering by the Great Indian Deserts now India. And Indian deserts is an undulating sandy plain. Undulating sandy plains. And sand dunes are, we can see many parts of this Indian Great Desert. Sand dunes are the major structure of the Indian desert and undulating sandy plains also we can see here. And Indian deserts is familiar with the arid climate condition. Because of arid climate condition, low rainfall. Here only receiving the below 15 centimeter per annum or the year the rainfall got it. That is why this area became very arid climate condition, very hot climate condition we can experience in the Great Indian Desert. So arid climate is familiar in the Great Indian Desert. Low rainfall is the another major feature and below 15 centimeter per annum they got the rainfall. And as a result of the arid climate condition, low rainfall, the low vegetation is only covering this part. Only these curves and bushes and cactus are also covering in this area. Only bushes, then curves, then cactus are covering only in the Great Indian Deserts. And in Great Indian Desert, seasonal streams are appear. When the short rainy season, after the short rainy season, these streams are disappear. So only the seasonal streams are appear in this part only at the time of the rainy season. After the rainy season is over, they also vanish or disappear from this region. And in that part, we can see one river is flowing. That river is commonly called Luni River. Luni River flowing this one. Notable river in the Great Indian Desert is commonly called Luni River. And in that part, we can see one lake. There is Samba Lake. There is salt making lake. Now the salt making lake in India is commonly called Samba Lake. Samba Lake is the salt making lake in India in the Great Indian Desert part. So once again, Great Indian Desert is mainly lays in the western margins of the Aravalli Hills. And two states are covering the Great Indian Deserts. They were Rajasthan and Gujarat. And undulating sandy plains and sand dunes we can see here. And climate is very arid climate condition. Rainfall is very low, rainfall is familiar. Only below 50 centimeter per annum they got the rainfall. And low vegetation is also covering this part. And scrubs and cactus is the vegetations we can see in this area. And seasonal rain streams are appear. And after the short rainy season, this seasonal or the streams are vanished from this region. And Luni is one of the notable river in this part. And Samba Lake is the salt making lakes in our Great Indian Desert. So that's about the Great Indian Desert. A simple area. Western coastal plain is the fourth major physical divisions of all India. It is extending from Gujarat to Kerala. Gujarat to Kerala is extending by the western coastal plain. And along with our Arabian Sea coast. Now, western coastal plain is extending from Gujarat to Kerala along the Arabian Sea. Arabian Sea coast. And it lies between the Western Ghats region and Arabian Sea, and it is narrow plain one. So once again, western coastal plains is extending from Gujarat to Kerala and along the Arabian Sea coast and lies between the Western Ghats and Arabian Sea. It is a narrow plain. It is a narrow plain one. And in our western coastal plains have three sections. First north side is commonly called north part of this one is called Konkan coast. And central part is Kannad. and south part is called Malabar coast. These are the three major sections of the western coastal plain. First one, north part is the Konkan plain, and central part is Kannada plains, and south part is Malabar coast. These are the major three divisions of the western coastal plains. Western coastal plains are divided into three sections: north Konkan coast, then central part Kannada plain, and south part Malabar coast. And rivers of these western coastal plains are very short and fast running rivers. And it rises from the Western Ghats region and flow to the Arabian Sea. Rivers of the western coastal plains are the short and fast running rivers and finally lies to the Arabian Sea. Western Ghats region it is flowing one. And one of the westward rivers in our India are the Narmada and Tapi. So most important one. We can expect a one word question. One of the most important westward rivers. Westward rivers of the Arabian Sea area lies one is called Narmada and Tapi. Narmada and Tapi rivers are the only two westward rivers in our India. And these two rivers are make estuaries. Estuaries make along the western coast in the Gujarat area. So this westward rivers Narmada and Tapi make estuaries and along the western coast in the Gujarat region. So that's about the western coastal plains. Once again, western coastal plains are extended from Gujarat to Kerala along the Arabian Sea coast, lies between the Western Ghats and Arabian Sea, and is a narrow plain one. And three sections of the western coastal plains are the north is Konkan coast, and central part is Kannada plain or the Kannada coast, and south part is Malabar coast. And rivers of these areas are short and fast running one. And it rises from the Western Ghats and flows to the Arabian Sea one. And westward two rivers of India is the Narmada and Tapi. And these rivers are making estuaries and along the western coast in the Gujarat area. So that's about the western coastal plain. For the sake of understanding, I would like to explain this part in Malayalam. Just listen to me. India major divisions are western coastal plain. Padinnaran Tira Pradeshanagal. The വ്യാപിച്ചിരിക്കുന്ന ഗുജറാത്ത് മുതൽ കേരള വരെ ആണ്. അറേബ്യൻ സീ കോസ്റ്റിന്റെ സമാന്തരമായിട്ട് ഈ ഭാഗത്താണ് ഇത് സ്ഥിതി ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ വെസ്റ്റേൺ ഗാർഡ്സിനും അറേബ്യൻ സീക്കും ഇടയിലുള്ള സ്ഥലമാണ് എന്ത് നമ്മുടെ വെസ്റ്റേൺ കോസ്റ്റൽ പ്ലെയിൻ. മൂന്ന് സെക്ഷനായിട്ട് ഡിവൈഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതിൽ ഏറ്റവും മുകളിലുള്ളത് കൊങ്കൺ കോസ്റ്റ് ആണ്. അതിന് താഴെ സെൻട്രൽ പാർട്ട് കർണാട് പ്ലെയിൻ ആൻഡ് തേർഡ് സൗത്ത് ഭാഗത്തുള്ളത് മലബാർ കോസ്റ്റ് ആണ്. ഇതിന്റെ മൂന്ന് ഡിവിഷൻ. ഇവിടെ ഒഴുകുന്ന റിവേഴ്സ് ഫാസ്റ്റ് റണ്ണിംഗ് ആണ്, ഷോർട്ട് ആണ്. അപ്പോൾ അറേബ്യൻ സീയിൽ വന്ന് പതിക്കുകയും ചെയ്യും. ഇന്ത്യയിലെ വെസ്റ്റ്വേർഡ് പടിഞ്ഞാറ് അറേബ്യൻ സീയിൽ വന്ന് പതിക്കുന്ന രണ്ട് റിവേഴ്സ് ഉള്ളൂ. ആ റിവേഴ്സ് ആണ് നർമ്മദയും താപിയും. അപ്പോൾ ഇവ ഇവിടെ എസ്റ്റുറീസ് അഴിമുഖങ്ങൾ ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാറുണ്ട്. അഴിമുഖങ്ങളിലാണ് വെസ്റ്റേൺ ഗുജറാത്തിന്റെ ഈ ഭാഗങ്ങളിലൊക്കെ അഴിമുഖങ്ങൾ ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അവിടെ നല്ല പോർട്ട് സൗകര്യങ്ങളും എല്ലാം തന്നെ മത്സ്യബന്ധനത്തിനൊക്കെ ഫേമസ് ആണ് ഈ എസ്റ്റുറീസ്. അഴിമുഖം എന്നാണ് മലയാളത്തിൽ പറയാം. ഇത്രയാണ് എന്ത് പറയുന്നത് വെസ്റ്റേൺ കോസ്റ്റൽ പ്ലെയിൻസിൽ പറയാറുള്ളത്. And next one is called Eastern Coastal Plain. And Eastern Coastal Plains is extend from Odisha to Tamil Nadu. And Bay of Bengal region is extending. So our Eastern Coastal Plains are extended from Odisha to Tamil Nadu and lies to the Bay of Bengal. And it lies between the Eastern Ghats and Bay of Bengal, and it's a broader plain. Our western coastal plains is narrow plain, but our eastern coastal plains are the broader plain. And have two sections and division. First one, north part is covering by the North Circle. And our south part is Coromandel coast. So once again, it lies between the Eastern Ghats and Bay of Bengal. It's a broader plain and two sections, northern circle and south Coromandel coast. And the rivers of these areas are much larger and broader. One, and to form the large fertile deltas along this area. And deltas are very fertile and famous for the biodiversity. And the deltas creating rivers in our India, these are the Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri. Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri are the very famous deltas creating rivers in this area. So once again, Eastern Coastal Plains are extended from Odisha to Tamil Nadu along the Bay of Bengal region, and it lies between Eastern Ghats and Bay of Bengal region. It's a broader plain, and two sections of the eastern coastal plains are the north part northern Sirkar, and south part Coromandel coast. And rivers of these areas are much larger and broader, and form the large fertile delta. Delta formed rivers of these areas are the Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri. Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri are the rivers of this area. So I would like to explain this part in Malayalam itself. Just listen to me. ഇവിടെ ഈസ്റ്റേൺ കോസ്റ്റൽ പ്ലെയിൻസ് നമുക്ക് പഠിക്കാം. നമ്മുടെ ഇന്ത്യയിൽ പ്രധാനമായിട്ടും ഒഡീഷ മുതൽ തമിഴ്നാടിന്റെ ഭാഗം വരെ വ്യാപിച്ചിരിക്കുന്ന ബേ ഓഫ് ബംഗാളിന്റെ അടുത്ത് സ്ഥിതി ചെയ്യുന്ന തീരപ്രദേശമാണ് ഈസ്റ്റേൺ കോസ്റ്റൽ പ്ലെയിൻ. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഈസ്റ്റേൺ ഗാർഡ്സിനും അതുപോലെ തന്നെ നമ്മുടെ ബേ ഓഫ് ബംഗാളിനും ഇടയിൽ സ്ഥിതി ചെയ്യുന്ന ഭാഗം കൂടിയാണ് എന്ത്, ഈസ്റ്റേൺ ഗാർഡ്സിനും ബേ ഓഫ് ബംഗാളിനും ഇടയിൽ സ്ഥിതി ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു ഏരിയയാണ് ഈസ്റ്റേൺ കോസ്റ്റൽ പ്ലെയിൻ. ബ്രോഡർ പ്ലെയിൻ ആണ്, വിശാലമായ സമതല ഭാഗങ്ങളാണ്. ആണ് ടു സെക്ഷൻസ് ഉണ്ട്. അതിൽ ഒന്ന് നോർത്ത് ഭാഗത്ത് നോർത്തേൺ സിർക്കാർ, സൗത്ത് ഭാഗത്ത് കോറമണ്ടൽ കോസ്റ്റ് ആണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഈ ഭാഗത്ത് റിവേഴ്സ് മച്ച് ലാർജർ ആൻഡ് ബ്രോഡ്. ഇവിടുത്തെ റിവേഴ്സ് വളരെയധികം വിശാലതയും വളരെ എന്താണ് വലിയ റിവേഴ്സ് ആണ് ഈ ഭാഗത്തിലൂടെ ഒഴുകുന്നത്. ആൻഡ് ഇവ പലപ്പോഴും ഫെർട്ടൈൽ ഡെൽറ്റാസ്, ഡെൽറ്റ ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാറുണ്ട്. ഫെർട്ടിലിറ്റിക്ക് ഫേമസ് ആണ് ഡെൽറ്റാസ്. ബയോഡൈവേഴ്സിറ്റി, ഒരുപാട് കണ്ടൽ കാടുകൾ, മാംഗ്രോവ് ട്രീസും അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഒരുപാട് സ്പീഷീസും കാണപ്പെടുന്ന ഡെൽറ്റകൾ ഈ റിവേഴ്സ് ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാറുണ്ട്. അങ്ങനെ ഡെൽറ്റ ഫോം ചെയ്യുന്ന ഈ ഭാഗത്തെ റിവേഴ്സ് ആണ് മഹാനദി, ഗോദാവരി, കൃഷ്ണ ആൻഡ് കാവേരി. So that's about the eastern coastal plains. I think that this area is very clear, and if you have any doubt about that part, you can ask me through WhatsApp call and text message.